Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Going to talk to you about a show I haven't even seen the end of yet because it's still running. Pluribus on Apple TV Plus. Great show. Oh my gosh. It's from the guy that created Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. If you love those shows, you know he's got a mind behind him. He knows a few things. And it's a great show. A lot of people compared it to the X-Files. It draws you in. It's like, what kind of show is this? What is going on with this show and what's going on? And it really just locks into you. It's like a subtle alien invasion with no aliens. It's like they play in the mind game with us, and of course they're winning. And there are only like 12 people in the world that haven't been affected. Everyone's just become very nice. That's the problem. And they've got a hive mentality now. So they're like the Borg. Yeah, but they're not destructive. They're very nice. Everyone's nice, but there have been some deaths, and there's some problems with that. And Carol, the main character, who was in Better Call Saul, you'll recognize her right away, is trying to figure it out and stop it. And the people of the world they're not zombies, they're just nice. They're just really nice. And they tell Carol not to worry, anything she wants, they will give her anything. And one of the recent episodes, she asked for a hand grenade just to test it out, test the waters. They gave her one. Did Carol pull the pin? Okay. Now, and did bad things happen after that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you're just watching all this going down. Like, oh my gosh. And, you know, it's a very logical, if this was you show, what would you do? How would you handle it? And they show the other people around the world, a few of those that had the ability to speak English, because that's who Carol wanted to talk to, because, you know, I need to be able to talk to them. And they're rather content with, you know, my life's good. She knows, because they told her. They said, we're months away from working out a way so that you'll join us. And she's like, you know, no, I don't want to join you, you know. So she's fighting. She's trying to find the answer. And episode after episode, we just watch like, oh my gosh. And it's still going on. There's still more episodes to go. And it's almost so subtle that it just drives you in. And you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening now? What's happening? And what is going on? And oh, that's so funny. And it's just like, it's a must-see Apple TV show. If you have Apple TV or a chance to get it, if some of you are missing out on Peacock, didn't get it for Black Friday deal, now they've got 3 versions of Peacock, so be careful. The first cheap version is just the NBC Bravo stuff. The middle version has the original content and some more stuff, but it has ads. And then the high-end version has all the content and no ads, except sports and live stuff. They always have ads. But you can get a deal with Apple TV and Peacock if you wanted to get Peacock for a little bit and add it to your network stuff. Right here, winter and summer is a bad time for the networks. They like to pull stuff off the air so you can enjoy your holidays. And they know you'll be back whenever. But they're not pulling too many things. I mean, they're rotating. You know, some of the networks are pulling stuff earlier, and they'll be back earlier, or they're starting new shows right away. I think Will Trent's coming in January, and The Rookie's coming in January. So it's not long after they started pulling a few things for a week or two, and they're going to be back with, you know, they got some backup shows to pull out. But other networks probably aren't going to be like that. They're going to pull out, and you're like, oh, where's my newest show? Where's my high potential? You know, that's already been gone for a couple of weeks. So winter's a good time to try out some of these services like Apple TV and get into Pluribus, or if you've never seen Ted Lasso or Shrinking, or if you're a big fan of dramas like The Morning Show, if you love sci-fi like Foundation, Monarch, oh my gosh. You love those big Godzilla kaiju movies. Monarch's your movie. Your TV show. For All Mankind is great. If you were fans of Man in the High Castle, kind of that alternate reality, our favorite is For All Mankind. We have to see every episode of For All Mankind every time. And there's a new one coming out, sort of the Russian version, Star City, that will be out sometime soon. They did a kind of a prequel sequel show to give it, you're getting to see what's going on from their side, the Russian side. And it's a great show. But Pluribus is just, it's working its way into your mind. It's like, things don't really blow up too much. It's not that super duper action. It makes you think. And it's great. It is really good. I mean, we sit there and watch it like, well, that was good. Wow. And you're just like, that's pretty good. It was another interesting show with an interesting ending and a little, oh, wow. Now what? And then you got to watch next week. What? So it's infectious. Yes, I would definitely check it out. And Severance is supposed to be an amazing show on Apple TV Plus. So we gave it 1 or 2 episodes and we never got into it. People are like, well, if you like Severance, you'll like Pluribus. I was like, I like Pluribus, but I never got into Severance. I like Slow Horses. It took me a while to get into that. I have to use the closed caption because it's a British show. And Gary Oldman is just great as this cranky old guy that runs these spies that are kind of, they're still part of MI5, sort of. They're part of Slow House or Slow Horses. And they're kind of the rejects. They messed up in the field, so now that's where he's in charge of them now. And if they got crap missions, they're the ones to get it. If MI5 doesn't want to be associated with a mission, they're the ones to get it. And so once you understand that, and that Gary Oldman, although he's a cranky old bastard, he's probably the smartest person. He knows what's going on. Even when they give him the assignments, he'll negotiate it a little bit. He'll be like, no, we're not doing that crap. We'll do this, but we're not doing that crap. And they're like, okay, whatever, just get the job done. If something happens, we don't want to know about it. Don't screw it up. So, Slow Horses, love it. I mean, Jason Momoa just did Chief of War, which was great if you love Shogun on Hulu. Think Shogun in Hawaii. That's Chief of War. And he did C originally, kind of a sci-fi dystopian future thing. That was a very big hit. And, Apple gets a lot of big names. They get the big producers. The guy that Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are 2 of the greatest shows ever made. And this guy says, oh, hey, I got an idea for a show. And Apple's like, Clint, you're done. Yeah, we'll give you a season, or we won't even think about it. Whatever you want to do, And it was tough, man. The first time I watched the trailer was like, what is this show about? I don't get it. I didn't get any of it. I pushed myself to go on YouTube to find another Pluribus trailer. Just is PH when you look it up. Pluribus. It has like a 1 in it for an I. But then when you look it up, it's Pluribus. It's just spelled out. But I didn't understand the first 2 trailers. Had no clue what we were getting into. And my wife and I were just like, I said, what are we watching? I said, this weird show, Pluribus. I don't know. And we watched the first one, like, oh, wow. That was interesting. Maybe watch another one. It was interesting, subtle, interesting. So Apple TV now, it's not called Apple TV Plus anymore. They changed it to just Apple TV. And it's just a great service. I really like it. I mean, if you've got too many streaming services now, hold off. But if you get into that network rut where you're like, let me look up some of these shows, when are they premiering again? Oh yeah, I can take a break. I mean, technically summer and winter are great times for Apple TV Plus, Netflix, HBO Max, and Amazon Prime Video, because most people have 3 to 4 services. And you always merge Disney with Hulu. So Disney Hulu for the network, because that's ABC and Fox. Peacock for NBC, and CBS, the #1 network of the United States. And so you're going to get some great shows there. It's Paramount Plus. And they get Star Trek, and they got all those Taylor Sheridan shows. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen Landman yet, put the kids to bed and watch Landman. You can't have any of the Taylor Sheridan shows on when the kids are around. I can promise you that. He's the creator of Yellowstone, which you'll find on Peacock because Paramount sold the rights to Peacock so they'd have at least one hit. Can't count The Office as a hit because it's canceled, you know. And now Peacock has Yellowstone still, but even though Yellowstone's canceled. But there are going to be more spin-off shows coming. They've got Y, it's the Yellowstone symbol. Marshall's coming to CBS actually instead of Paramount, just Paramount. And it's great, you know. You do your network stuff in the fall and spring and do your other 4 in the winter and summer, and that'll help get you everything, you know. And if you have to cut back on one, I cut back on Peacock, you know. But they do have the Olympics this year, so you're like, I want to see the Olympics, so you might have to get it for a little bit, but get the right one. You get the cheap version, you may not get a lot of the sports stuff because sports and news cost a lot of money. If you want local news, you get a better chance with like the middle or the premium type thing. So check into that. And their version of local news may be a big city near you or 200 or 300 miles away, but it's near you. Yeah, that might be as close to local you get. So you have to kind of look into that. Because they do broadcast the news, like on Paramount Plus, we have ad-free, so we have the premium version of that. But they have like 12 cities, that, you know, and we're in Ocala, Florida, near Orlando, but our big news thing from that is Miami. You know, I'm like, oh, man, I don't care. I don't care about Miami. So, but we get haystack news, but we don't need to bother with, you know, some of those news channels. We love watching our haystack news. It's great, it's programmable, put a username and a password on it so that it can remember what you like and go into settings and pick out the categories and types of things you want and allow for location so that it'll know where you are and it'll find stations near you for local and weather and all that good stuff. I mean, I'll look up weather on the phone or ask Alexa or something like that. But the phone's usually my go-to source for weather because I can check another app, compare it. And then I'm here in Florida, so the breeze, the clouds, it looks like rain clouds. They predicted rain today. I don't know if we even got a drizzle. So, because you got to be outside at the right time to catch it. But this is good. This is really cool. I got a golf cart coming by. Hey. Always waving at golf carts. Fun here in Florida. I'm halfway home. Taking a break here at assisted living and retirement center. They got these nice benches and a water fountain. Nice to just sit here and talk to you guys about Pluribus. So get Apple TV. Give it a try if you need another streaming service to fill in the gap. And try those shows out. I mentioned there's some great shows. And you look at the Internet Movie Database rating on some of them. They're great. They've won a lot of awards. Tim Cook mentioned it in the last show that they're a product event that Apple TV had been rated #1 for 4 years in a row for the best quality streaming service. So that's something. So try it out. Pluribus. It'll work with your mind a little bit. Give them a couple episodes. All right. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.